Hello everyone and welcome to yet another episode of Aurogiri. The title of today's episode isn't exactly a topic or it's a topic, but it's not something you can just look up, like how do I do this in onigiri, like well, how do I smell it, whatever. It says surviving in the new world. That is a One Piece reference to the new world. I watch a lot of One Piece. I read the manga. You know, I love the show, so I was just doing some yard work the other day. You know, I was thinking as I was doing it, just mindless scraping of the deck, and I was like, you know what? There's a lot of similarities between our new update and the One Piece anime and manga. You know, I'm on the islands. I'm looking at these pirate crew, and you know, I'm thinking about all this One Piece stuff, and Oshu is a lot like the new world in One Piece. You know. Like, before the update, like, we were stuck in Echigo for, like, 6 months, and everyone was, you know, they made, if you're, like, a sword user, you made a bunch of, you know, you made a 7-star, you made a lightsaber, you made a Kogura Sumaru, etc., etc. If you were a spear user, you had a bunch of, you had, like, some Rose Maidens and some Dragon Spears, like, those were your ultimate goal for the Dragon Spear. Axe users would make, like, that anchor, and then the hammer, like, etc., etc. Like, those were the end game, and, like, that's what I feel like in One Piece terms is everything up to Shabandi Archipelago. You know, everyone went their own separate paths, they had their adventures, everyone had their own stories, they collected their mags, you know, everyone had different things, and everything was going cool, and people would compete, and it was interesting what everyone brought to the table once everyone got to Echigo and everyone was doing ACM and trying to do juncture, things like that, you know. It's very similar. But after, like, in Edo, all the stuff we prepared, it was sufficient. It was good enough to get the job done. You know, then we got to Satan, then we made those endgame things there, and we beat up Satan, etc., etc. So, but now in Oshu, everything, like Oshu and the island, well, mostly Oshu, that's like the new world of Onigiri in terms of One Piece. Like, everything you knew before is thrown out the window. You can't just walk up to an enemy and say I'm gonna kill it just with just damage alone. Like, it's a completely different world. Like I'm pretty sure that 80 to 90% of the 110s did not solo Oshu. You know, my friend Cluster, he's one of the best mages. He keeps getting better and better. He had a hard time doing those 4 dungeons. So it was me, him, and our friend King Ken, and we went in 3-man, normaled it, and got to the islands. Once you get to the islands, everything's like, oh my god, this is so nice. But Oshu it's like hell. It's, oh my god. Like, the spider can one-shot you. Everything one-shots you. Like, the new dungeon and the forest, those weren't too bad, but I'm talking about the highway, the one we had to wait 3 days for. That was ridiculous. So this video is all about it's the main focus of it is we're going to be addressing everything you're going to need to know to prepare yourself for Oshu and to survive in Oshu, because like a lot of people are struggling. Like I'm not carrying dungeons. No one's carrying dungeons. It's a whole different world. So let's talk about what you're gonna need. People that know me, Aurelia, I'm actually gonna say her name right because everyone just calls me Aurelia and I say it's a fine, whatever. But people that know Oro, they know her as like a really awesome spear user. You know, people come up to me and it's like, why aren't you using spears anymore? Why aren't, like, you use spears on Satan, you wreck Satan with spears. Why aren't you using spears anymore? The answer to that question is because, let me just pull out some spears here. I have one somewhere. My Hio, there's a Geno Buster, you know. And there's my Hio Tengu. So, my Hio Tengu was my strongest weapon pre this update. So, the Hio Tengu, plus 100, I was super stoked when I got it there. I've only ever gotten, at that point, this was my 3rd weapon I ever got to plus 100. It was my Rose Maiden, my Geno Buster, my Hio Tengu. Since then, that number's increased by 2. So, the Hio Tengu, you know, it was awesome. It's an Ice Spear. It has Ice Blossom 5, Ice Blossom 7, Water Dragon 6, Spirit Blast, Earth Upending Spear. Lots of powerful moves. some could say it's a really awesome Hyotengu. It's a really good 105. Now, the Hyotengu, like, I have no problem with it. I equip it, I have 17,000 attack. That's great. However, it's not great enough. Like, I can go put on my, my literature has 24 rain on it. I specialize in Water Dragon. I have a Peerless Magatama that gives me 500 attack, and it gives me like 10 critical and 10 skill force. And I have a Setsuna that gives me 70 skill force and like 14 critical. But I'm stuck using 3 hunters and a Chiami with double crit force right now, for the reason being that the D3 cross is like 2300 attack, depending on what I'm using. And the Galgos cross is this in the same boat, 22,000. They're like 5 to 6,000 points stronger than my strongest spear. So I am a daring spear user. I went spear because I could not get mags for bow and twin for the life of me. All I ever had was like when I beat Typhon, I had a Nekomata, a grape, and a melon, and a Chiami. That was it. Like, it was tough for me, but then I found out, oh, you can get literature. There's a side quest for Gemini. There's a, like, I found a Leo in a cave. You know, I actually had mags for spear, so I went spear. You know, and I worked with that. I worked with Water Dragon. I worked with what I had, and you know, it worked for me. But in this new place, you know, I fought Satan 1,600 times. You know, like, not 1,600, but like 1,200 times, and I got 9 cross recipes, and the first one I got was the sword, the second one was the staff, the third one was twin swords, and then immediately after that I got D3, I got the Galgos, the bow, and then after that, you know, I got axe 3 times, and then I got 2 more bow recipes. So out of all those grinding sessions, after all that time, all that fever, not once did I get a Omen of Doom cross, which is the spear. And personally, I feel making a star weapon is a waste of time, a waste of resources, more like it. Like, if you plan on ever making a cross, which I do, you know, star, it takes 48 normal Satan weapons to craft a cross using no artisans. That's the dream. I have more than enough Omen of Dooms to do that. Now, a lot of people ask, well, why don't you just make a star? And honestly, I'm considering it. But the only way I'm going to do that is if I farm another total of 48 weapons. Or not a total of 48 weapons, just more weapons to make a star without artisans. So, you know, a star to 100 without artisans. You know, because when the day comes where we just all get stronger and we go back to Satan, because a lot of us didn't get our cross recipes, well, when I get that Omen of Doom, I want to be able to make that Omen of Doom cross right on the spot. So, you know, as a daring spear user, I really need the Omen of Doom's 24 vitality it grants me. Like, that's one of the bigger reasons I use these weapons. Sure, they're stronger, but the reason their attack, like, how strong is the Galgos cross? Like, I can't look at it as just base attack. Like, let's compare. So it's 14, you know, almost 15. This is 15, almost 16. That's 12. And Genobuster is 10. So there's about a 5,000 attack difference between the Galgos and the Genobuster. Obviously, Genobuster is only good for a short amount of time. Same thing with the Hyotengu. Now, people ask me, why don't I build the Brigandia and stuff? Well, for one, I never got the Brigandia recipe. And second, for those that don't know, because we're going to covering the veteran weapons soon, once we get into what people are going to need, the Balder Brigandia and all the 113s, like the Rising Crossbolt, I don't know what the other disruptor's called, but there's all these upgraded versions of the 105 crafted weapons. And there's what you do to get them is you have to complete like all of the Tanegashima dungeons on Hell or something. I haven't done it yet, but you know, you do all that, and then there's gonna be this old veteran guy. He's like, hey, I can make like the best weapon in the game. So what you do is let's say I had a Brigandia. I got a Brigandia to like plus 100 or something back in the day, and I wanted to get the new Brigandia. Well, he'd want you to give him your current 105, and he will give you back an item that says veteran weapon. It's identifiable. It is not a crafted weapon. What that means is when you get it, you're 113, you go to Shizuka, click identify, it's going to be one of the 8 random classes. That's the weapon you're going to get. You could give him, what's the hardest thing to, a Disruptor. Disruptor or a Garbog. They're like the hardest 105s to craft. You could have spent, my friend Cluster, like I'll bring him up a lot because me and him we've been close the past few months. So, you know, he farmed Ginza for like what felt like 2 months just to get his Spider Silk and stuff. And, you know, he made his Garbog, and then he's like, well, I gotta make 2 so I can trade it in for the new one. And when people just told us, you know, it's a random weapon, he was like, oh my god, no, this is stupid. He's like, I hate this. So what that means is you could make a Garbog and you want to get the new wand, you could trade it in, and it's like, here you go. It's Galardios, the sword. Or they could give you the Bloodsucker, the Super Bloodsucker. Like, it's random. So, you know, I'm level 113. I could technically go try to do this. Now, it's not just that simple. You need to collect gems as well, like 5 and 10 gems. Need help, Mine of Delusions. Okay. See, that's the point. That's the whole purpose of the video, is we're going to talk about how to deal with Mine of Delusions and all the mines, you know, without carrying. But, where were we? So, yeah, we're talking about the veteran weapons. So as I'm saying, going back to the topic of why I'm using Galgos and stuff, you know, I finally have mags for bow and twin. I use hunters because my hunters actually give me a crap ton of decks. Like, there's like at least 2 to 6 decks on like all of them but one, but that one has crit. So with that, it gives me like almost max affinity for my level. So like, as I was saying, oh my god, I do. But you know, 1400, you know, it's like 5,000 points stronger than Geno Buster, but that's not enough to make it go to that high of an attack. It's the additional dexterity that the weapons and my mags give me that give me the highest attack that I do. So, you know, I always told myself, if ever the content got so hard and I needed to, like, you know, get off spear for a bit and go do go back to bow or twin sword if they were stronger, I said I'd do it. And now I'm at that point. Like, this is me coming up to the new world and being like, oh my god, this is not gonna work. I have to check myself before I wreck myself. And when I went into Oshu 100% of the way, and you know, I went into Oshu, I equipped Galgos Cross and I equipped D3 Cross, and I was so helpful. It was so much better than me trying to use spear. Like, I'll try to use spear against like the spider and stuff when we're farming gems. It's just not as useful. So until I get a new weapon, I'm pretty much going to be using these because, you know, luck gave them to me, and I'm going to use them because that's just how you survive in this world. So let's just talk about everything people have to do Oshu and be good in Oshu, and we're going to learn how to deal with everything. So, first topic. The Chiami Magatama is currently, you know, it's up for debate. If you're doing normal, Chiami's probably still a good idea. Chiami also does give me 5 dexterity, which adds to my affinity for Galgos and stuff. So, you know, my Chiami gives me 26 crit force. That's pretty good. It gives me bow affinity. That helps me out too. So it's not that bad of a mag. I actually tried replacing Chiami with like another melon just to see how much damage I could do. And it was about 1,000 points less. Like, I had 250 skill force, but it wasn't enough as like 200, but with crit force and extra affinity and extra attack, etc., etc. What's the video about? We're just talking about what people need to do to be ready for the new content. A lot of people are stuck at Oshu, asking for carries, asking for help, but no one's going to give it because we're not strong enough to provide it. About 3% of the population can go and carry a dungeon for you right now. The islands is different. They get a lot easier once you get there. But those 4 Oshu dungeons, they're like ridiculously hard. Like no one was prepared for that. No one's prepared for a guy to throw a rock at you and do 20k. Like that's why the Chiami's up for debate right now, because yes, some things will hit you and you'll survive it. I mean, I have 1800 attack or HP. You know, not 1800, 18,000. Like I'll push B here, whatever, get on my menu. I have 181 health. So with that much health, I can take maybe 1 or 2 hits with all my defense and stuff. And I can heal it back with Chiami. For me, Chiami works. But for some classes like mages and swords and people that don't have dex invest or vitality investment, faded contractor, etc., they can't really take an attack. Some people are better off not wearing the Chiami entirely. I have a friend who's a spear user, Steffi. She walks around with 2 literatures, like a Gemini and like an affinity mag or something. You know, she knows she's not going to be taking a hit, but when she hits something, she hits like a truck. That's where the meta is going. It's starting to get there now, and it's going to be going there later on. And it's especially going to be going there once we get our new mags. So that's going to be our first topic we're going to go over. I know we touched on some things, what weapons I'm using, etc., like veterans and stuff and how those work. But we're going to talk about mags first. So before, you know, right now I'm wearing 4 hunters. You know, people wanted to get the Setsuna from Juncture. I have that. I could go in with like Setsuna and like 2 mags, and you know, I'm still not killing everything. Setsuna's not the answer to life. I probably have one of the best Setsunas in the game with my ornaments on it, but it's not enough to just kill everything. Like, I'll bring it up just for show, just for example here. Setsuna. There it is, like 62 chakra. You know, I got 9 extra critical, 10 extra skill force. It's 70 skill force, 14 critical, and 4 wisdom. You know, it works for everything I'll ever touch. It's 62 chakra, not too bad. It's a great mag. It's not enough for me to just win the game. You know, if I equip this instead of this hunter, like I can't use it with my bogies yet. That's one of the main reason I'm not using it. I would be using it by all means, but just having the best mags in the game is not enough to be considered. It's not enough. Like, all the old school mags are not enough to get you through the new content flawlessly. The point I'm getting to is that we have new mags to create. So if we go to Moroku, now obviously you need to get past the island, or get past Oshu to get these recipes. You know, I'm talking to the wrong person. We need to go to what's her name? Kaguya. So let's go to Kaguya. The reason I talked to Moroku there is because he actually sells me the Sagittarius, which is one of the Magatamas I need. So when you're going into this update, you're going to be looking for the Magatama of your class. Now there's recipes that drop. The Thunderquake, I was lucky. The Spear recipe actually drops in the first 2 dungeons of Oshu. So I got to collect mine before the game was patched, because like it was glitched before, we couldn't go to the Highlands. So I got my Thunderquake from the little mobs in the new dungeon, the Mina Byacook or whatever. So it also drops off the new as well, but I was lucky to get it my first 2 days on Fever. I have a friend, Hirai. He has been farming Monjaku Island for his sky rendering mag recipe, his 105 recipe. He's done it 400 times, nothing. He's got friends that done it 14 times. Oh, it's Unicorn. I saw you yesterday. Hey, Unicorn. So basically what I make, like, this is the new meta. That's the point I'm trying to come across. Everything that was awesome before is going to, you know, pale in comparison to the new 105 max. The build that people are going for, that should be aiming for if they want to be really powerful, is going to be 3 105 Magatamas, and then like the rank, like a low chakra skill force mag of their class. So I have a friend on PC, Brody. He uses 3 Thunderquakes and a Gemini. You know, it's the same. It's the same for every class. Like if you're Wand, you could wear, you know, 3 Talon Breakers and an Enma, or 3 Talon Breakers and one of those, you know, you farmed, you got infinite Shoteis or Shokos or whatever, the rank 4s from Moroku, you got perfect element on that, you have an element one for every class. If you're Wanderers, you could go 3 Talon Breakers, and then a perfect ornamented one of those things that you got. So, you know, swords can wear 3 of them in Amara, maybe. I don't really know the chakra cost, but if you ornament Thunder, like, you know, your 105s with, let's say, Fated Contractor, you know, I'm going to say you want to do at least 2 that are like Fated Contractor and then 1 that's like whatever. But it's really up to you. It depends how your ornaments go. Always use Band-Aids. Don't be a fool. So how do we get these mags? You know, like as I said, the formula is you're going to want 3 of these and 1 Skill Force mag that fits. That's going to be the recipe. And after ornamenting, these mags are probably going to cost you about 49, 50 chakra, anywhere from 47 to 50 chakra each, depending on what you ornament. So that's 150 chakra, give or take 3 points, because mine are probably going to be 49, 49, 49. So that's going to leave me right now with, you know, 13 chakra left over. That's enough to put on something, I hope. But, you know, that's just how it's going to go. So how do you make these beautiful Magatamas? So what are their effects? Just to explain it to you. So these are going to give all of your rank 5s for that class 60% skill force. Awesome. Then if you're under half health, you're going to gain an additional 40% skill force. Therefore, Chiami is going to be less desired because you want to stay underneath this health threshold so that you can have 300 plus skill force at all times. For Spear, this also gives you a little bit of lightning element, so Thunder Crack is going to be more meta, but it also gives you negative mountain, so Oogie 4 and Stone Spire, the new stone attack, are going to be less desired. It also gives you 10 crit force. Do you get more chakra by leveling, or is it a partner? You get more chakra from both those things. If you level up Amaterasu, she'll give you chakra every Niji Mitama. I think that's the right one, the one where she gives you stat points. She'll give you more chakra, and then the more you level, you also get more chakra. So at 113 with a max Amaterasu, I currently have 160 chakra. I'm not sure if at 115 that'll go up, but currently it's 160 for me. I have to ask my friends for 115. I haven't actually asked them yet. So these Thunderquakes, what do you need to make a 105 mag? Here we go. You need a Cancer, a Leo, Sagittarius, Log, Cockatoo, and then you're going to need 3 gems. For most people, it's 2 Scarlets and a Myrtle, but I do know that Bo is 2 Ceruleans and a Myrtle. Gems we thought weren't going to be too bad, but because we got some on Fever. Now that we're off Fever, it's ridiculous. We finally got our spot, the Spider, to get Scarlets and Myrtles. That's where I got my first Scarlet. I just need 2 more gems, and I can have one of these bad boys. Now, you know, so look at, like, this is like, you know, these mags are really awesome. Like Cancer, Leo, those are the go-to mags. Sagittarius, not too desired, but I mean, at least it comes in bargains for spears. Log, you know, you farm this in Azami or Wara Bazooka. You know. And then Cockatoo, you get that later. We're going to make a video later today showing where to get the last mags on these recipes. It's also the best money farm currently in the game. So we'll be going over that. So, you know, I currently have a Cancer. I have at least one of all these things. The only thing I have more of is Sagittarius. So now mag farming is going to be universal. You know, you can't just play sword, get infinite Amaras, and go ham. You know? I mean, you can, but you're not going to be like the best. It's not going to cut it eventually. You're going to want these. And luckily for sword, I believe Amara is one of the requirements, so you can cross that one off your list if you've done your bargains correctly. And as for spear users, you know, you just max out Moroku, then you get infinite Sagittarius. And then Log, you just farm Wara Bazooka, you farm Azami Crossing, but mostly as Wara Bazooka on hard is going to do good. I apologize if my computer keeps making the Facebook ding, because my buddies are all like lost doing some adventure in town and they're just Facebooking each other left and right. I'm probably going to take a second just to close that because it's kind of annoying. Okay, cool. So obviously, as I said, you can't get these mags as soon as you walk into Oshu. Oh, hey Wolfpack, we're talking about what people are going to need to do well in the new world, aka Oshu, in the islands, and Tanegashima beyond. Did you already say where to get the recipes? I haven't said where to get the recipes for each class because honestly I don't know. But I mean, if you're at this point in the game, you're at Oshu, you obviously have to have checked the wiki at some point in your life. I mean, like, this video is like, you know, it's a more of an intermediate. It's where like the bulk of the like it's where the meta is right now. So normally if I was making like an Aurogiri episode just explaining something like more common or more simple, I would say, oh well, you know, I'd look it up for people, I'd explain it to them, tell them where I got it. This video is more like, you know, we're in high school now and I assume people know how to use the Wikipedia. So, you know, but just on the top of my head, I know that you can get the Thunderquake Magatama in Cave of Byakuok and Suyu Forest. I think, don't quote me on the Suyu Forest, I don't really know that one, but I know you can get it from Mine of Byakuok. You know, you get the attack star, the bow one in, I think in the Luring Cave. You can farm the field mobs where my buddy Rain got it. You can get it in Wani Island. I love farming Wani Island. Okay. You can get the axe one in Anka Forest, as well as the bow one in Anka. Maybe not the bow one. I don't know. I know you can get the axe one there. I don't know the other one. I know you get Severance recipe there. So Severance is another topic we're going to cover soon. See, they're all jumbled in my head. That's why I'm not really explaining it. The sword one, you get Monjaku Island. Twin swords, you get it from Onra Island, or you get it from Mountain of Thorns. I don't think staffs want this mag, honestly. No one should be pure staff anymore. I mean, do it later, but I honestly have no idea. Wand, you get it from the spider, or you get it from mobs in a dungeon. I really don't know. I think it's the Inugami dungeon. I don't know. So it's all the Oshu dungeons you're gonna need to conquer to farm in order to get these recipes, preferably on hell. But I have seen people get their recipes on normal and hard. Now you can also go to the islands if you get past Oshu, and you can farm those to get your recipes. You know, I think it's a little lower drop rate, but it's a lot more manageable, you know. So that said, that's where the meta is going to go. People are going to need 3, not just one of these mags out of a huge crafting list. You're going to need 3 of them. If you want to be like the best of the best, you want to be like the top dog. Because right now, when you get to Oshu, aside from, you know, having good weapons and stuff, the slate resets. Everything that was good before, like we're like, it is literally like going to high school or university when you get here, you know. In middle school, everything's established and everyone knows each other, and you know, everyone knows who the cool kids are and all that stuff. We know who the big bad, you know. People have reputations, but when you go to high school, all that stuff goes away. It's a new chance. You know, you could be like the crappiest player, but if you get you get 3 105s faster than the last top dog because he's so full of shit that he thinks he's the best and he can't do anything, you're gonna surpass him. This is, although it is very difficult, yes, we are freshmen now. You know, when you get this recipe, it's like getting your diploma. Now, getting your diploma is a lot different than actually doing something with it. Doing something with it is actually making the damn Magatamas. You know? So, you know, top dog on campus, they're all gone. You know, except, not really. If you have a cross, you're actually still ahead of the pack because that is currently still the strongest weapon. A cross is going to be the tool to beat these dungeons very efficiently. Like I showed you the difference. Like if you have a 105 weapon, you know, you don't have, like, that doesn't matter how much affinity you really have, you're going to be sitting at about 19k attack, but having a cross is going to give you like 23,000 attack. It's such a huge difference. So, you know, like right now, if you want to be like the best of the best, you're going to need like a cross or maybe a 105 crafted. They're very close in power. You're going to need one of those weapons. You know, you can use the star as well. There's nothing wrong with the star. You know, I said earlier I'm not going to focus on it, but I mean, if you're really like at your wit's end, you can't get something good, by all means make a star. Do something. Like, it's better to do something than nothing. You know, I already have something, so I'm I have high hopes that I'm going to get a cross spear, and that's what I'm waiting for. So, moving on. People need these mags. People are going to need to farm for cancers, Leos, you know, there's a lot. Everyone has their own recipes, but I'm going to speak on behalf of myself. So I was farming the other day, trying to get more cancers and Leos in Cave of Nakisawame. I'm pretty sure every login boost, I'm going to spend my time there. Until you get your recipe, you know, you can do it. You can go farm your mags. Maybe you already have your mags, but until you get that recipe, it doesn't really matter. You know. Now, gems are also hard. You need to farm dungeons. You know, the Jiro Spider is probably the best. We've determined she's the best for Scarlet and Myrtle gems. Just yesterday, I had a friend get a Scarlet. My other friend got a Myrtle. I got my Scarlet there, as I said. Whenever they come on and we have free time, I plan on farming that dungeon with them. Because if I can get my gems today, oh my, I'll be so much more powerful. I'll be so much more eager to farm more of my mags, you know? It's just, once you get going, you just get, like, you know, right now we're all walking. Once you get a mag, you can start jogging. You get 2, you can start sprinting. And once you get 3, you know, you can just walk through the valley of the shadow of death and you will fear no evil. It's going to be, like, that's where it's going. The gist of what I'm saying is that get these mags. If you're stuck, you don't know what to do, go farm mags. You know, go to Rumorites, go to Cave of Nakisawame, go to the Beelzebub Cave, farm infinite flies, get a party, get an AFK group, farm your mags that you need. As I said, you know, everyone's going to need their dual mag, like swords need Ronins, spears need logs, bows need pressure point. You're going to need to farm these mags in Wara Bazooka or Zami Crossing. They're the best chances for you. You know, I mean, do all the research you can. Are you close to being able to? Yes, I am actually. I'm missing 2 gems and I can make 105. So I think that covers the Magatamas people are going to need. They're going to need to make their 105s. They're going to need to use buttons. If I see anyone with a broken slot on a 105, I'm going to be so disappointed. Like, it's ridiculous, okay? Like, if you're this far in the game and you buy Ogis and you put money in the game and you're not willing to buy band-aids for your 105s, then you should just not even try. Don't even try to ornament at that point. Because I have a cancer mag, 95%, broke a slot on it. Broke the first slot, you know? And then when I found out I can turn my Gemini into a 105, or not my Gemini, my Cancer, I was elated. I was ecstatic. So I'm getting a little more harsh. Are you going to die laughing? Probably. I'm getting a little harsh because this is a big deal. Because people keep saying, oh, help me do this, help me do that. Like, you know, help yourself. You know, if you keep just crying, help, 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 we're going to keep moving forward so we can't hear your cries. That's how life works. You know, if you can't pull your own pants up, or you're going to stand there, like, looking like an idiot. Where everyone's like, what are you doing here? Like, just no chill. Like, I'm going to take 5 minutes off. I'm going to start talking. I'm going to roast, like, all of you people, like, level 100s in Oshu, okay? Now, I was harsh on Satan. I said, no one should be... If you want to farm Satan, you don't get band-aids from Lucky Boxes, Wolfpack. It doesn't work that way. You have to buy them from the store. You will never get a band-aid. You have to go to, like, here, and, you know, you scroll down whenever I can hit this button. You have to go here, and you gotta go Magatama slot 8 A or B. If you want 3 Bs, no, you don't get any. No, the ones you get were from a quest, and then you get them from money rewards. Right now, every $50 you put in the game gets you 1 band-aid. Every 100 gives you a band-aid B, just on the top. You know, I put in 250. Yes, slots can still break with a 95. I didn't see that comment, but yes, they can. It's a 95%, and it happens all the time. You can fail spells at 95. All the time. So, and once that slot breaks, it's gone for good. So, the only slot A's you get in story, or early game, is from story. I believe you get, like, 3. I mean, there might have been a money campaign or 2 back in the day, but I remember I had a couple, and I used them. So, Magatama slot 8A, $10 gets you 3 of them. Honestly, don't buy, like, it's $5 for 1. You're better off paying 10 for 3. It's a deal. I mean, you know, if you have one 105, I recommend, you know, buy 3 A's. So if you buy 3 A's, you know, if you're lucky, that gets you your 3 ornamentations. You know, chances are you might fail one of them, so at least you have a third band-aid. So let's just think, for every 105, put down $10 for 3 band-aids. Now, if you feel like you're not going to fail any of your ornamentations, by all means, you can be ballsy and pay $20 for 3 B's that are reusable. Now, if you have a combination of B's and A's, I recommend only on the first slot doing a B and on the second doing an A, because chances are the second will fail. And you're going to want to make sure that percentage is 95%. So that's just you have to buy your band-aids. I'm taking a note out of there. So as I said, I was going to, like, you know, take a second to, like, roast, like, give you the higher levels perspective of level 100s and stuff in Oshu. I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. If you are below level 105 and you are holding the 105 weapons, you know, Ichimonji Sarai, Dark Heaven Embu, Lightning Gore, you know the bunch. You're using a low-rolled weapon. You know, there is a clear difference between being level 100 and having an Ichimonji Sarai and just using it as a weapon. There's literally nothing wrong with that. But if you're putting Ogis on that weapon, that's completely wrong. You're wasting Ogi cards. And people say, oh, I have extraction tickets. Well, you're wasting extraction tickets. Extraction tickets are used to fix, you know, to upgrade your arsenal, not fix mistakes. I have 23 extraction tickets, and I have only used one of them because I wanted to take a Satan Ogi off of my bow so I could put Restriction Geki on it without any issue of having it overwrite Amai's punishment, etc. So, you know, if you're not 105 and you're not using your 105 weapons in Oshu, you're gonna have a horrible time. You know, like I said the same thing with Satan. Like, yes, you can beat Satan with normal Echigo weapons, you know, just stuff. But if it's taking you 15 minutes to do Satan on hard or normal, and it's taking you 25 minutes for hell, that should be a sign. Like, back in our prime, like before this update, we would be killing Satan on hell in 3 minutes or less. You know, that's the rate we were going. We'd pop a 200% drop boost and we'd go in there and we'd do about, you know, 3-minute runs for the next hour. So, you know, we were ready. Now, we were ready for that. We were ready for Elder. We took that out. We beat Juncture. We beat that a couple times. We come to Oshu. We're getting our ass handed to us. If we're getting our asses handed to us on Oshu, on normal, hard, and like hell, like, you know, we're only doing hell after. There's not really much. There's not much hope for people that aren't prepared to, like, at our skill level. Like, I burned through about 30 soul legs trying to just get through those dungeons. I can't imagine how many people are burning through to get through them now if they're underleveled. For Oshu and stuff, I know it's the new content. We just had a dash that I think it ends this Thursday or something. I don't know what the bronze went to. You know, my group did it like the first couple days. So, now, yes, you want to, like, I understand that people want to be in the new content. They don't want to go farm. They don't want to do this. Now, that's understandable. But at the same time, if you think all the high levels didn't farm, they would just walked up to weapons and got them, that's a completely different story. A lot of the mage users, I'm friends with a lot of the best mage users, wand users. You know, they spent probably about a month, 2 months of their life in Room of Rights farming mags because, you know, they needed their Lord Enmas, they needed Lord Renjis, they needed Guillons, they needed etc, etc. They spent 2 months of time farming. I'm gonna have to start farming again soon. Like, Spear users got all our mags from quests. It was nice. You know, literature's good. Literature right now, we're gonna have to put it behind us because literature is too much chakra. Yes, right now you can wear a literature and 105. I'm gonna do that. Literature 105, Gemini, maybe Gemini. I don't know what's coming. But I know you can do that. But later on, it's not going to cut it. Yes, literature is 90 skill force, whereas the 105s are 100, but it's really not going to be enough. Because it takes too much chakra, you can wear 2 105s and get 200 chakra, as opposed to 2 literatures and maybe 2 weird mags and still not have that. and only have like 260. The 105s are the way to go. That's what I'm trying to say. So I am ranting a bit, you know, things are hitting a nerve, but honestly, if you're, you know, there's no carries in Oshu. I told people back in the day there's no carries in Edo. But when we were 110, yeah, we could carry then. But not everyone's 115. We don't all have our new gear. That's not how it works. So, you know, like every day I have to go farm mags now. I have enough for 105. I still have to go back to my dungeons and I have to go farm Cancer. I have to farm Leos. And eventually, I'm not too worried about the log Magatama because the Wara Bazooka is pretty easy for getting those mags. I have one of them taken care of from bargains, Sagittarius. I don't have to worry about that. Cockatoo, easiest mag to get. So as a spear users are pretty lucky in that regard. We can just farm, we only have 2 things to farm. Cancer, Leo. Cancer, Leo. Cancer, Leo. The rest of the thing, we have to farm log as well, but it's not that bad. So, you know, if you're an aspiring spear user and you don't know what to do, you're having problems, go farm a Cancer and a Leo. Just, like, if people don't have their mags yet and they're in Oshu, that's even worse. Like, what are you trying to do? If you're sitting there with like 40 skill force from a story mission, you're not going to do good. Like, I'm telling you. Like, it's just going to get worse from here. Like, when we get to the next thing, you know, we're trying to build a rocket ship now, go to the moon. Everything's going to one-shot you up there unless you block. Like we can't even beat the gargoyles. Now, people think, oh, all the top players, they're doing gargoyle on hard, they're doing gargoyle on hell, and they're doing good. No, we are not. Only a choice groups, you know, people that stack Thunder Beast can go beat Sleet Sword. You know, people that have Lightning Slash Thunder Beast, they can go destroy Sleet Sword. You know, people that use Water Dragon, Frost Glaive, Ice Blossom, those moves can take on the Fire guy. Not on Hell. Hard is too hard for us now. Like, when we got there, we tried it for a day or two. We said, this is a waste of energy until we get our 105 mags. Then we can come back and hopefully things will be better. Like, that's the predicament we're in. You know, people keep asking me a lot, like, oh, can you do gargoyle and hard? I'm like, hell no, I can't. I'm blatantly honest with people. They ask me, oh, can you carry this? I'll be like, hell no, I can't. People used to ask me, oh, can you carry pipe 3? And I can carry pipe 3 now, but back then I didn't have the durability for it. Furthermore, I have a 5-scroll level 100 Miyamoto Musashi. You know, I can use her and I can conquer the dungeons a lot better, but at the same time, it's just, she might take too many hits and I don't like it. I limit myself to 1 prayer crystal a day unless my friends are all using theirs and we're going ham. Like, people look at me, I have the 2 crosses for daring. Like, I have a total, like, I have like the dream setup for daring classes. I have a plus 100 Miyamoto, and I am not just carrying every dungeon and making every dungeon my bitch. It doesn't work that way. Miyamoto is based off your build. There are some people that think Miyamoto, oh, I just gotta get Miyamoto and I'm a god. No. If you don't have the skill force and the slice element and all the good stuff that she requires, it's no different than having a cross with no mags. It's like, mags are more important than anything. So that was my little rant about, you know, the people who are barking up the wrong tree for carries and stuff, because we're not ready. You know, so let's continue. So let's just rehash what I gotta say. Let me calm down for a second. People need 105s. They need their recipes. Team up with other people who need those things and get it done. No one solos dungeons anymore. If you want to get through Oshu, the best formula is 2 to 3 people on normal working together. That's how it's going to be from now on. Like, yes, we could do mine a Be a Cook 5-man. It's not that bad of a dungeon. But that's just an experience grind dungeon. Spear users, go farm that. You know, I didn't think I'd get this agitated from this video. I thought this was going to be pretty chill, like a pretty, you know, just, I made the One Piece reference. I was going to compare some stuff, but, you know, there's a lot of stuff pent up. It's coming out. So, if you want to succeed in the new update, you're going to need the new weapons. You're going to need either a star, a cross, or a 105 crafted at plus 100. You're going to need your Magatamas. And, you know, now's your chance. If you're ever like a scrub in the past and you always want to be good, you want to be with the big boys, It's not that hard. You just gotta put in the work. You have to farm in this game. You can put in $1 billion. You can't on PS4, there's no trading. You can't buy mags from somewhere. You have to farm them. There is no getting out of it. There is no exemption. You can't get carried for the rest of your life because we can't even carry ourselves half the time. So the main purpose of this video, you know, people need to make their 105s. They need to make the good weapons, be it a star, a 105, or a cross. People think, oh, well, I thought that when I came in, I said, well, I didn't want to make the Brigandia because it was too much work. I didn't want to mess with it. You know, now we're going to talk about the veteran weapons and stuff. I thought, well, I'm just going to get the gargoyle weapon. I'm going to get 115, and I'm going to get my gargoyle rhyme weapon, and everything will be good. Well, turns out gargoyle hell is like, like in One Piece terms, it's literally like gargoyle is like the war of the best, and you're Luffy, and there's like every admiral and everything is right in front of you, and this thing is the strongest thing in the world, and you're getting destroyed. Like, you can bring your whole team there, you're gonna get wiped out. It's gonna look like friggin' Kizaru just wiping out the Straw Hats. Like, that happened to us. We went in there, we all spent like 5 soul eggs, we got wrecked from Sleet Sword. He destroyed us. Like, it's ridiculous. We don't know his patterns yet. We don't know how it goes. That person just slid past my screen. So, you know, so we all had that idea. We're like, oh, my next weapon's gonna be the gargoyle weapon. My next weapon's gonna be the gargoyle. No, that was completely, that dream was destroyed, crushed, like snapped in half. That wasn't happening. So now we have to get the 105 mags. My friend has 105 so far. Our goal right now is to get stronger, make our 3 105s. Then once we have those, then we can go destroy the gargoyle, hopefully, and then we'll get our new weapon. And then it just keeps working in tandem, you know, power to power to power to power. You know, it's just like in Dragon Ball Z, you know, like Goku is Super Saiyan, he comes back from Yard Rat, everyone thinks he's the shit. Trunks shows up, he's also Super Saiyan, he's like the shit. And then Vegeta gets butthurt, and then he becomes Super Saiyan, and then he's the shit. But then these androids come, you know, 19 and 17, they're not too bad. Those are like the Oshu dungeons, the first two, Bia Cook and Suyu Forest. They're not too bad. We beat it. We get there. Now we're fighting like the super androids, you know, we're fighting like 18, 17, and 16, and they're all ripping us apart. Like, oh my god, destruction. Our morals are like, not our moral, but our how we feel about it. Our self-esteem is wrecked. You know, what we thought, how good we are, it was completely thrown out the window. The things are getting worse. You know, Onigiri's having a bit of Dragon Ball Z syndrome. So, oh, there's Ryoko-chan. I'll say hi to Ryoko. So, you know, we do all that. Then we get to the islands. They're not too bad. You know why? The islands aren't too bad because now we're like Super Saiyan 2s and things are okay. But then we get to that crab, and that crab is friggin' Cell, and that crab one-shots you with Water Dragon Cannon. You're like, what do? So, I'm high. I guess I have to say hi. So, what I'm trying to say is that people are not ready. People have a lot of training to do. When I call mag farming, you know, Keivanaki Sawame, any plays Infinite Flies or Rumor Rights, my code name for that is the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. Everyone needs to go hit up the Hyperbolic Time Chamber till they get their mags. Life is not going to be better. Like right now, if you're there asking for carries and you want to help and all that good stuff, your heart's in the right place, that's cool. You're a Yamcha. Yamcha got his heart and like chest destroyed by Android 20, Dr. Gero, because he tried to help and Gero's like, haha, dead, screwed, one shot. Exactly, the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. You know, I understand that people, their hearts are in the right place. They want to help. They want to participate. They want to go on. Well, right now you're a Yamcha. You know, you get one shot by Cybermen. You know, no one wants to be a Yamcha. Krillin, he's useful, you know, but he can't really compete in the Cell arc. You know, it's up to the Saiyans. Like, everyone's got to be a Super Saiyan at this point. Everyone's got to go learn how to use Haki, etc., etc. That's just how it's going to be. So, and I'm going to put these points in the description, you know, just to reiterate. I always want to try to do that, put the key points of my lectures, videos in the description so people just go in, look at their task list of what they need to do and can be on with it. Now, Joker said this video, he's laughing his ass off. You know, when I get steamed, you know, I start to make a bit of a mess, and I go ham. You know, I start getting agitated, and it's sometimes funny. So, you know, and another point in this game, if you want to clear Oshu with with a lot more ease, unless you're like a mage, or unless, like, it's possible, okay? But what I'm trying to say is people are going to need to put money in this game if they want to keep up. Now that is a disgusting statement, considering it's a free-to-play game and putting in money is optional, especially with gacha tickets and all that good stuff. But honestly, you're not going to make it far unless you've got Ogis on good weapons. And like, right now, like, the curve of what you need to get through this game is getting tighter and tighter and tighter. On PC, people, like, I've heard rumors, people say, oh, you have to be Axe, or like, you're gonna have a bad time. If you're Power, you might as well be Axe. You know, Axes are really strong. They do a lot of work. But I mean, I'm still an advocate for you can play this game how you want to play this game. There's no reason anyone should be swapping classes if they want to get through this game. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a Power user and, you know, using all your options available to you. I see nothing wrong with being a Power user and using axes or using swords or using Odachi. I'm talking about people that play like bow or spear and they're like, oh, I might as well go axe. Like, there's no reason to jump ship. Like, you know, there's no reason to walk away with your tail between your legs and jump classes, because that's not going to solve your problem. Even if you switch classes, you still got to go farm mags. People are trying to avoid that. It doesn't work. Everyone needs to farm now. Everyone is given a second chance to reinvent themselves. These 105s, these new weapons, everyone's able to farm. Everyone's able to get good. And that's what this guide's about. You know, it's half drill sergeant, it's half, you know, listen, I'm having fun. But at the end of the day, like, this is the hell we need to learn to play with. So, you know, at 4 o'clock today, that's when my login kicks, I'm going to be doing Cave and Nakisawa to get more mags. Yesterday I got a lion dog. I was so happy. I don't need it for the dancing water, but it's going to let me, if I ornament that, I can have 3 dancing waters and a lion dog. I can't wait. You know, right now I could wear, like, right now I'm forced to wear 3 hunters because that's how my chakra curve works. I'd love to wear a Setsuna, but I have to level up my Mai's Punishment and Restriction Geki to 6 first. Then I'll have no problem. But for the time being, you know, my skills only go so far. Like Geno Buster, it was a good weapon back in the day, but right now it's not really cutting it. It's a decent weapon, don't get me wrong, but as I say, at the end of the day, 10,000 attack isn't what it used to be. Hyo Tengu, like, these weapons are good, don't get me wrong, the 105s are great, but like, they're good, okay, but they're not great. You know, like, I can go in with my full spear build and go into the spider and I'll hit it for like 10 to like 15k ticks of the water dragon. Like, that's, some people might say that's good, but I've already had a taste of cross, and going back to spear, that damage to me is complete and utter garbage. You know, like, when I use my Misty Massacre 5, I go in and I hit the spider for like, I don't really know. I know I'm at least doing like 30k, so when I hit all 5 ticks, you know, I'm doing a lot of damage. I'm doing a couple 100,000, maybe. I don't know. And I know that when I use Galgos and I shoot it with Exorcist 7, I know I'm going to do, like, if I crit, I'm going to do 100,000. If I use Geki, I'm going to hit it for 100,000. If I do Punishment, I'm going to do a lot of damage. Like, I'm using what I have to use to get through the game. Like, honestly, I love the fact that I can go back to bow and spear, or bow and twin, or spear, whatever I want to, honestly. It doesn't matter to me. But what I'm saying is that people need to stop, like, if you really want to be a part of the community that's going with the new content, they're being as powerful as they need to be for each level, and they're rising to the occasion every single time, you're going to need Magatamas. You're going to need your 105s. You're going to need to farm. You're going to need your new weapons. You know, I can't hammer that in enough, but I'm going to stop because I need to talk about the weapon choices we have available to us now. So, we have the 105 crafteds, you know, Brigandia, Galardia, Disruptor, Crossvolt, etc., etc. We have those tiers of weapons. Then we have stars and crosses. Crosses, if you get them, by all means use them. If you can only get a star and you've been trying a lot and you can't deal with it anymore, by all means make a star. But in my advice, make a star using normal weapons. And no one should ever use a normal Satan weapon like the level 100 ones. Those are complete shit. Do not use those. I hate seeing people walking around with like a plus 100 end of days. Like, it's just, why are you doing that? They're not good enough to waste. Like, you could have made a star. Every 8 weapons is a star. So if you collect 48 weapons, that's a cross. Or that's a plus 60 star. Like, that's where I get off on the boat. Like, that's what offsets me. It takes more Satan weapons of one type to get a star to 100 using no artisans than it does to make one cross and artisan that cross. Like, I could go and make a Omen of Doom star and it would be really good for me, but at the end of the day, I know that the minute I make it, I get that cross recipe. And to be honest, I'm kind of okay with that. I'd love it to force my cross recipe, because once that drops, I would hit Satan until, like, Satan couldn't even hit me anymore. And the more I level, the more affinity I get. I went in the other day, helped the guy do normal. I was doing, like, so much damage. It was ridiculous. So, you know, sometimes force karma. I might have to force karma to do it. I always said I'd have to force karma to get that way. You know, a lot of people, they go, like, my friend, I think my friend King made a star Gravitas, and that was when his cross dropped. Fate works like that. You have to play with fate. You know, a lot of people want to save their resources so they don't touch star. So then they go into Satan. Oh, there's the cross. I wasted my time on star. But you know what happens? At least you have a star and a cross. There's nothing wrong with that. I might have to do it. It depends how this coming weeks go. If the 105s are not enough of a power level jump for me, I might have to go make that star. You know, you have, like, Onigiri, it's not a, like, it's a game, but the newer content, it's not a game anymore until you can start being strong enough to play with the content. Right now, the content plays with you. It bends you over backwards and it plays. It has fun. You know, it's hard to fight back. So, where was I? So the new weapons. Where's Yoshitsune here? Oh, Yoshitsune, tell us what weapons we need to do. So, weaponsmithing. Maximilian Cross. I don't have 3 stars. When did this happen? I have 1 star. You know, I could make a Maxi Cross. No problem with that. I have 56 spellbooks of rage. If you guys don't believe me all the time, how much I fight Satan? Like, don't test me. So if we look at the difference in attack between these 2 weapons... Really? Why is the attack no different? The attack says 5, 2, 2, 3, 5, 8, 5, 6. What is a Thunder Arm Figure? That is a Gargoyle Weapon 85. Don't touch those. They're just materials. They're the same deal as... A lot of people do that too. They make the new Gargoyle Weapon and they smelt it up and it's like, don't do that. It's a level 85 weapon. It's like if you had a Rose Maiden but there was element on it. Like, they're not that good. They're in the same boat of normal Maximilians. Like, Gargoyles are Satan all over again. So, you know, I want to see that again. I want to go look at a different star versus a cross. So Galgo's star, 5856. Does it just say that for every weapon? It does. I guess that's my weapon that I'm equipped with currently. Oh, well, whatever. So I guess it doesn't show you. So, you know, I was farming my log the other day and I got my disruptor recipe. I never had it before. Disruptor, you're gonna, like, this is a bitch to make. You need like a plus 45 Glazer 1. That's not too impossible. You need 30 Tengu's exhales, 5 fans, a bunch of chaos wasabi, armed territory. That's not too bad. And then you need like 5 fruits of transients and piercing stones. Like, this is literally the hardest 105 to make. Now people go and make this, and as I said earlier, you know, veteran weapons are random. So when you trade in your disruptor and you try to get the Neo disruptor, whatever it's called, chances are you're gonna get like an Odachi or something. So how the workaround for this is you find that there are two 105s that are the easiest to craft. There are two. Those two are the air cleaving sword, which you need Seshushiki fragments. You get those from Plover Pit or Juncture. You need a no dachi, a non-crafted weapon that you get at level 10 from like Kishinden or something. Real early. You just smelt this thing to 70, 65. You don't even need to use buttons. You just try, because it's no loss to you. You go farm Kishinden a million times. Get these weapons. Try and get mags on the way, because you can. You smelt one of these up to 65. You get Tengu exhales. Some mushrooms from Veronica. At this point in the game, she's not hard to farm. Peerless Crest from ACM, Diamond Dust from Monsters, Cutting Stones, you need 60, whatever. You know, you can make two air cleaving swords, trade them in later. You might get the new air cleaving sword, or you might get one of your weapons. It's really random at this point. It's a real bitch. But air cleaving sword is one of the ways to do it. The next way is with the Bloodsucker. The Bloodsucker is a staff. I do not believe I have the recipe for it on Aurelia. I have it on my second character though. I do not have the Bloodsucker recipe. But Bloodsucker, excuse my yawning. Bloodsucker is a weapon that required cursed blood. And everyone's like, oh my god, cursed blood is a bitch to farm. I don't want to go farm this cave just for that. So, but now there's a new dungeon in Tanegashima where there's like a couple wheels, like in the first room. You just walk in and there's a bunch of wheel bosses ready that can drop cursed blood. So apparently you can just go in that room, kill all the mobs, walk in, walk out, get a bunch of cursed blood. There's a weapon. You have to use the Catechus staff from, so Catechus, I think it's from like Rumor Rights, like places like that. It's that, like the actual medical symbol on a staff. You get one of those to like some weird plus. The requirements are pretty chill. And, you can just, Bloodsucker is apparently what PC does to farm these weapons to make those things. So get the Bloodsucker recipe from Hibia Sewer Management. You know, kill the frogs a billion times. Get that recipe, farm up your Bloodsuckers. Once you complete the story, get that quest available to you. You still have to farm gems after. It's so much to get one of these veteran weapons. It's ridiculous. So like you can do all that, but you still need like I think 8 gems just to trade one in at a random shot at a weapon. We thought gems were going to be easy. Gems are a bitch. We cannot get them. I've gotten 3 gems this whole time, albeit I don't farm the dungeons constantly, but that's all I have right now. So when it comes to getting the 113s, excuse me. When it comes to getting the 113s, Bloodsucker, air cleaving sword are the best ways to do it. Don't waste your resources and artisans trying to make weapons just to get them up. You know, if you want one of them, those are your best 2 bets. That's what we're doing. I'm just sharing that knowledge. Next we have weapons. We have the Severance weapons. How many gems do you need? I honestly don't know. I don't have the quest, so I can't look at it. And I don't know how to Google it. Like, I don't know how to look it up on the wiki. Because I don't know what the quest is called for veteran weapons. But apparently it's like 5 ceruleans and like I think there's like 8 gems you need. But you need a lot of gems, and they use those gems to make the upgraded versions or some lore thing. So what do I have here? I think I have the Severance recipe for Odachi. Now we have the Severance weapons. Severance weapons also require gems. Now, I thought gems would be easier to get, but they're not. I say this a million times. The Odachi one, you're going to need the Nokogiri Samahara plus 30, and then 1 plus 20, and then another 1 plus 20. So that's like 7 of one weapon. Severance weapons that are like the Suyu and the Taka whatever weapons, they drop from the bosses in the new content. They are very rare. I've only gotten one of these weapons, and I got it from a random identification. Or no, I got a weapon once. I was farming Honor Island. But I got the twin swords once. And honestly, these Severance weapons, people thought, oh, I'm going to get a Severance. They're like 108s. They're going to be the same level as the Cross, and everything will be good. They're even harder to craft than, like, everything is hard to craft now. If we had trading, we could actually give people the weapons for their class, this wouldn't be a problem, but we don't. These weapons are actually kind of ridiculous to identify, to get. So, my point I'm trying to get across here is Severance weapons are very difficult to get, because gems are difficult to get, and the weapons are difficult to get, and everything's really friggin' difficult to get. Severance weapons, very difficult. Veteran weapons, very difficult, and it comes down to chance. So it's all coming down to chance right now. So those two weapons are very hard to get, they're very desired, they're very hard to... It's just, you get them on a fluke. You can't really farm for them, it just happens when it happens. It's the same thing with crosses. Cross recipes are hard to get, but stars aren't that too bad. And then lastly, the other weapons are the gargoyles. The gargoyles are the 115 weapons. They are the current end game weapons for us. They're even more of a bitch to get. Like, those are the weapons everyone wants to get. They thought, oh, well, I'll just skip. I'll just get carried until I get that weapon. It's not gonna happen. There's no way it's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Like, to get the... Like, there's an order of operations here. That's the main point of this video. How to survive in this new world of Oshu and the islands. You're going to need your 105 mags, and you're going to need your recipe. Like, you're going to need the 105 mags. So to get your 105 mags, you have to clear dungeons in Oshu. So to clear dungeons in Oshu, you need to find a buddy who has their shit together, and you work together, and you clear Oshu. You get to your islands, you have access to every island at that point, you farm it till you get your recipe. Case in point. So once you get your 105 recipe, you make your 105s. You make 3 of them. If you have 3 of them, you're now a god. Now that you have the god mags and you're ready to go, you either have a cross or a star or a 105 weapon. Those are the most easily obtainable weapons for people if they want to get going. You use these weapons in conjunction with the 105 mags to farm your gems. Well, I mean, you're going to need gems anyway, but you do that to farm your gems so you can get your severance. And so you can get your veteran. And then you use the veteran, the severance, the cross, whatever you got, use that to go beat up the gargoyles until you beat the gargoyles on normal, hard, and hell. And then you get your new hell gargoyle weapons, and then you have the new best weapons. Then you can go do every dungeon and do like everything you want to do, and everything will not be that bad. That is the case in point of how this update's going to go. So when people are wondering why the high levels are all being dicks again, like way back in Echigo when everyone wouldn't help each other, it's because we're trying to help ourselves get good. Some of us have no problem with helping people and getting people through the content after we've gotten our shit together. But right now, our to-do list is so big, it's so grand, that we can't even, like, we're not ready. We're still, like, up shit creek without a paddle ourselves. We're slowly getting back, and our canoe is sinking. We can't just bring everyone along with us. That makes life harder. Like, that's the point I'm trying to make. Now, this video, some people are going to be like, I hate this. Like, why won't you help me and all this? Well, like, it's just how it is. That's the nature of games when the difficulty rises to such a high curve. If people aren't willing to put in the work, well, then they're not going to get results. That's life. You have to do what you need to do what you want to do. I don't want to farm Spider Boss. I have to. You know, it's just how it is. Now, this video has gone on for like an hour and 10 minutes, and we still have 10 to 9 people viewing every now and again, and I appreciate that. We've had like up to like 12 people, but we have people leave, we have people come back. You know, some people, like, I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, it's just a person rambling. They're not even playing the game. I get that. But, like, this is preach, brother. Exactly. It's a hard reality, but that's how it is. Like, for example, when we were doing Edo, and Edo was like the hard thing, like, this trend is not stopping anywhere soon. Echigo was a little hard. You know, Echigo was like a taste of what was yet to come. Echigo, Sato, you know, when I couldn't beat Sato mine and UC because my weapons broke, you know what I did? I went to Kaga till I was 93, maxed out my friendships and got good. Then I went back and did Sato. Okay? That's what I did. I didn't stand outside Sato waiting for people to pick me up. No, that didn't happen. You know, what happened was I met people in Echigo, we worked together, we cleared UC, then we did Sato, because that's how the order of operations went. So, because you're awesome and fun to watch, plus I'm learning a lot. Well, great. That's the point. Now, usually I try to be like a nicer person when I'm doing my videos. I don't want to just go off and, you know, talk shit to everyone and talk down to the world. But sometimes the things need to be said. Because if things go unsaid, things go unchanged. And if things go unchanged, well then, like it's not going to be a pretty picture. The population of this game will plummet. No one will be playing. Everyone will be like, oh, I don't want to play this anymore. I'm going to go play the other free games, because apparently the mass population of PS4 players don't actually buy games. They just play the free games available to them, like Smite and Onigiri and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just something I noticed. It's very often people, like I bought Battleborn. I was playing it for a while, and people are like, I hope you get your money's worth from that game, as if like, I don't know, that's a different story. I don't know the financial status of other people and how it goes, but I mean, I'm perfectly capable of buying a game every now and again. So, this person says hi. I'll say hello. But, you know, that's how it is. There's already a lot. I know there is. There is. People keep leaving because the going gets tough. Oh, this person's saying hi. Maybe I'll make my chat box a little bit bigger so I can see what they're saying. I said hello. Oh, King Suki is watching my live stream. Hey, can you help me? Solavena Sangara. Can you help me? See, this happens all the time, but this is Izumo. I don't really care. It's fine. What? Anyway, yeah, this video's gone on for an hour. I mean, I said everything I needed to say. I'm gonna reiterate it all in the description on YouTube, or at least I'm gonna try. Dagger's Peak, why are you here? Dagger's Peak is in Echigo. Or whatever, where is it? It's in... Where is it? It's in Onigashima. What are you doing here? So anyway, point in case... You need to find some team... People are going to need to farm their normal mags. You know, if you don't know what to do and you want to get good, go look up your 105 recipe. Go farm those Magatamas. If you're a spear user and you need like help, and you're having problems, get a literature. Go farm 3 Leos. Get rank 6 skills or cancers or whatever. You'll get enough mags so you're ready for the 105s. Ornament those mags. Use those mags. Get through Oshu. Get your recipe. Trade in those mags. Get better mags. That's the first step. The second step. Like, that's not the first step. That's like the first step. Then beating Oshu, you're going to need a Satan weapon. You're going to need a 105. You're going to need something good. A plus 100. Get through those caves. Farm those gems. Then you get your 105s. So then we do those 105s. You get your weapons. You get your mags. You get your weapons. You get your gems. You get your new mags. With your new mags, you either get gargoyle weapons, or you get your veterans, or you farm dungeons, whatever. That's your order of operations. It's mags, good weapons, better mags, great weapons, and then once you're making gargoyle your bitch, you come back to me and you start carrying me, because I ain't doing it yet. And that's just how it's gonna go. So that's the point of this video. That's what people are going to need in the new content. And as I said, I'm going to put it in the description, make it a little more case in point, etc, etc. And yeah, so I'm gonna cut the video here. I thank all of you for watching. You know, people in the comments are actually giving me support. I like that. I don't like being rough and mean with how I talk about things. You know, I feel like I'm a little bit mean, but I think the word is stern. I'm being strict about it. I ain't taking no shit. That's that's how it's going. So, thanks for watching. I hope this answered anyone's questions on how hard the new content is, how things are gonna go, etc., etc. Yeah. So if it's time permitting, after this video, I'm actually going to make another weapon guide. We're going to be doing sword. We're going to be going over how to be a good sword, probably in an hour or less. So if you guys want to come back in the next 10 minutes, then yeah, I'll get some water, I'll calm down, and we'll talk about what needs to be done. So, yeah. I'm just gonna go accept her friend request because I like getting friend requests. You can actually see how long it takes to load my friends list, because it's so big. Is that gonna crash my game? Accepting friend request? No, okay. Alright, so yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll be back soon to do a sword guide, and oh, Justin, I've never seen you on the stream before, Justin. You know, I most of these people that are commenting, I know them, but you're the first. You're a new face to me, so thanks for watching, Justin. I'm glad you enjoyed it. There'll be more to come. You know, I hope I see you again on the channel. You know, listening and stuff, and you know, I always take requests in the comments if people want us, like, topics I want to cover next and all that stuff. Or they want me to cover, you know, by all means, post comments, and thanks for joining in the stream and all that good stuff. So, if anyone has any questions or suggestions or any of their thoughts, please, by all means, the comment section is for you. Let me know what's going on. Tell this person thanks. Okay. You usually watch my older videos? Cool. Just I never seen you on the active stream, so thanks, Justin. You know. So that said, I'm gonna close the video here. I'm gonna go get some water for my throat because it's starting to get a little irritable. And then I'm gonna start by doing a sword guide that I'd said I'd do a while ago, but you know, I can usually only make videos Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday mornings because my parents are gone. I can shut off the phones and I can just go at it. So, thanks for sticking with me for the video, guys. Hope you guys learned stuff, and I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for listening.